Hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today is the flip through of the 1,000 subscriber journal. Yay! I made it. I made it about 1 a.m. last night to 1,000. Oh, I was so happy. Okay, anyhow, here's a few little things that I have been up to lately before I get to the flip through. These are similar to the cookbook that I did just the other day on a video. So the makeup of the little guys here are about the same. But this was like a waterfall journal I made for my mom a while back. And this is what I did. I folded the pages. The last two I folded back, and I'm going to make those a tuck. But other than that, they'll sew in the signature right here. It'll close. Most of them will have a pocket. This one has a belly band. It also has two large pockets at the top that'll have a big card in them. But this is basically what it is. It's just like a journal you would write in. And you got all these different little colored pages. And all of these are dyed pages that I did myself. And I need to do some more. It almost became a double. Because if it would have been a little longer, I would have had a double waterfall. But as it was, I had to get it to fit in between the parameters here. So anyhow, that was that one. And the back, actually the butterflies are upside down. We're not going to worry about that. But this one here, it's got the pretty rose. I've run out of really pretty papers. And this one's got like that in it. But they're all a little different. Now this one is a left one, and I really wish I would have remembered what I was doing because that's where the spine would go. So actually I'm going to sew the spine in on that side. So when you open it, it's going to be on that. So I might have a lefty, you know. I might have a lefty that wants one, and that one will work. Now this is the other one. It's just kind of like a little nature one. Now, I didn't put anything in the front here. I still may. This is like a upper belly band and a stop, they call it, or a tuck. So, I'd still need to put something on that side. So, I'll leave that one on top. And the other thing I was going to pull to your attention is, because I've already done the video, I just need to post it. But I wanted to get the drawing for the 1,000 subscriber out of the way first. I pulled some items from my shop in town because they hadn't been moving, but for the builder journals that I'm going to be selling on my Rhoda's Junk page, these are going to be this is like a starter pack here. It has so many things in it to put in your book. I've got a couple of these, which are wraparounds. They wrap around your page. You glue them on the two sides, and it becomes a pocket on each side of your page. I brought 2 of those. I've got 4 of my specimen slides, I think I called them, because you can actually see through them. Anyhow, and then I have these little guys. They're also along the lines of it wrapping around your page. This is one of those Roxy creations, but it wraps around your page. It makes a little pocket on that side. It makes a pocket on this side, and then you have a flip out right there. And you got like a little tiny pocket down here as well. And a little tiny pocket there. So, I have different ones of these. But I will be taking pictures and posting them on the page about the time I'm putting my builder journals on there to sell. I'm still trying to figure out whether I'm going to do them one at a time, maybe 2 at a time. I'm just, I don't want to mess myself up. Oh, gotta keep myself straight. Well, the piece de resistance. I have the 1,000 subscriber journal here with the garden theme. This is one of those hitch ball fasteners. I love those things. So it has an eyelet back here for it. And it comes through here and it hooks there. And you can see it's not too big. It's not really too big. So you may not even need to hook it. I've got these kind of corners on it. They are not wraparound corners, but they're more decorative. I've got one on each corner. I have the pretty basket material on the spine to hide the grooves here. I have that there to hide the ties. So I've got a lot of things hiding everything. But here's the big collage. You've seen enough of that probably. But I had taken and painted these and put, what do you call it, the clear embossing powder on them to really make them shine. They got a real shiny sheen to them. I did a lot of burlap because that has to do with, you know, flowers. I got this cute little trim. I don't have any more. I used all of it on here. Okay, and I'm going to do a video on this too. This is that little, it's made from a 12 by 12. And I did it from my lilac fields, or lavender fields, or something, Stamperia pack over there. I saw it on Scrapbooking with Me. So I'm going to show how to do that here eventually, you know, a few videos out. And that is a little pocket I made. And then you have a little button here that is the tuck that closes it. And that's all there is to it. It's very easy. You'll enjoy it. And then we have the pretty pocket here. It has bloom on it. The kit that's being used here is Flower Market Blue by the Journal Boat. And oh, these little pieces here were from the Dollar Tree. And that was from a Mente Wings book, I think it was. Yeah. So, yeah. Some of this is from a garden book that I had. Then this is part of the kit. I got a real pretty background here. It kind of was, it's so neutral, but it still had the blues in it. And I thought it went really well. And here was from a book or something I had. I'm not even sure where I got that now, but I did. I got it. And a lot of these surfaces are writable. If you're a journaler, you can write all over the place. But you got a little reading material. I like to have a page tab. I don't know what it is about me. I love little tabs that helps turn the page. So that was just scraps. Here is one of those thinner two-sided papers that I had. So I took some of the items from the kit, some of the ephemera, and I took some of my extra paper for frames, and I made this little girl. This was actually a frame, and I put her inside of it, and I have a little saying that I put below it, and it was like a little postcard on the back. So she goes on that side, and on this side is two different pieces of ephemera. There's a tag and this little tiny journal card. And I love this. I've used this image in a lot of things. But there's a little tiny skinny belly band here. And a stop, they call it. That keeps it from going all the way down. And then I tuck this right in behind it. So there's a few words visible that gives interest. And here's like a little store on the digital. And a bunch of daisies. Here's one of the pockets from the kit. And I just had these excess little books. And this one, sometimes it'll have a saying. This one doesn't have it. It's got a little bumblebee on there, though. And then this was a, you know, a calendar of some sort. But it's got the colors, and it gives you interest with the holes and with the little jaggy top. And, you know, that's something different. This is from a flower book. And, oh, I want to thank everybody for coming to visit. I'm always forgetting to do that at the very beginning. And I really, really appreciate all of my subscribers for kicking in there at the end. I thought I was going to have to write this thing in my will. Because I had stopped at about 950 and I thought it was dead in the water. So I almost had this thing being buried beside me in the cemetery. But I'm so thankful to be able to give it out to somebody. And I'm still growing in my subscribers. It went over 1,000 and it's still going. Oh, it's wonderful. Okay, and this one is one of the pages from the kit, and I did front and back. That's about the barn swallow. This is a tag from the kit, and I made just a simple tuck with a couple pieces. These items are from Pink Monarch Prints. She's got this... I don't know what it's called, grungy or something. Anyhow, but no, it's one of her. I'll have to look. Okay, I found it. It's Sweet Blossom Ephemera Kit, and there was 2 pages. One has like different little pieces of ephemera and little tags, and the other one's got these what do you call those? Like advertisements. I love those. Anyhow, this is from the kit. That little edge. Here's a ripped page. I always try to do a little grungy, you know. And these are a lot of journal pages in here. This is not a tuck, but it is a little a cluster. And it was just different little things I had, and I glued them all on there. This was something from Happy Mail, and I always loved this because it reminded me of a quilt. And it had the greens and the pink, so I put that in here with one of my little bird die cuts and Simple Faith and some washi, and decorated that up. And this over here is a piece of ephemera from the kit, and I put like this die cut over it and notes. And it's got one of these little tags inside, and it says taking care of perennial garden. So you can find little things in here about your garden and your flowers as you're journaling. I mean, you could turn this little journal into your plant journal or a regular journal. It got all kinds of uses. There's a pretty little cart. I love the gingham. And here is the piece that's in the middle. That's one of the things from that Sweet Blossom kit with the tags. There's 5 little tags. This says, I'd rather wear flowers in my hair than diamonds around my neck. Unknown. I would want to say Marilyn Monroe. But here is the fold out. These little booklets I made way back when. I have a button here to hold it. These are little seed packets from a kit. I wrote beautiful butterflies up here. Another Mente butterfly from the Wing book. Another die cut. These are 2 journal cards inside with a few die cuts in here. And more washi. This was a little tiny journal card. And more flowers. So it's flowered up. And this is easier to do than it looks. You just kind of tuck that corner in. And you tuck it in. It's just, you know, I'm just uncoordinated. Okay. And then this is definitely a side tuck made out of strips and just things. And I made sort of a cluster. This has a rub-on saying that spring is when you feel like whistling even with a shoe full of slush. And I think it says, April hath put a spirit of youth in everything. That's hard to read. But I like this piece here. I had another journal card here. It was really busy, and it washed it all out. So that really adds to it. And here's the other side of the gingham. And this had a little gingham, so I thought it was a good reflective page. This was the texture paste. I don't know if you can see it. And I had stained it a yellowy, goldy color. And then I smeared it through my stencil. And then I sprayed it with a bronze spray, a mica spray. And that's what gives it that glitter that you're seeing. And then I put a number and a little butterfly and just another day up here. And this is just a journal card for you to be able to write on the back of. I'm always trying to, if there's something here and you're not able to use it in the capacity of a journal piece, I like to put something there that you can use. Like if it's a dark page, I like to put a pocket with a big journal card to write on, so it's still useful real estate. Here's the back side of that little quilty page I like. And this is my belly band that's made out of a silverware pouch. I think it's Applebee's. But it has a great big, beautiful rose up inside of here. And you can write on the back. It's even got little lines on it. And that goes up in here. And then down here, we also have a little card with a wheelbarrow. I'll put that on there. And it could be written on. It's a little dark on the back, but otherwise. This is a piece from the Dollar Tree. And this was a Stamperia piece. It was a pretty rose on it. And that tucks in right behind here for you to write on. This here is an altered paper clip. Now what it does, I've got something on both sides, but it comes off like that. It's just got a paper clip right here. You can kind of see it. It goes up inside. And the loop of the paper clip comes out where I was able to put a charm on it. So all it does is you slide it in here. Now you'll see some paper clips where you can see one side. It's just plain or something. But I like the double-sided a lot, because you get something on both sides. And there we go. I think I should have moved that down a little bit. I think it's okay. But yeah, it's decorated up with pretty colors. And this was a big journal tag that I'd made a while back. And I made a copy out of it. Okay, this is my Batwing Pocket. If you haven't been on my page and saw how I make this Batwing Pocket, you gotta go see it. All y'all can do is put in Batwing and you'll find it. I do have a pocket playlist, so it's probably in there. But these two pieces are up in here, and it's just a great big tuck. You just can tuck something way on up in there. And depending on how you glue it down, I glued it here and then along the edge, I think. You can leave this part up and just put a dot here, and you have an upper tuck as well. But I didn't want to worry with that. I thought that was just too much. And that's from the kit. Beautiful little bucket. But he tucks in here so you can see a few different things. And it wraps around. That's the other part. It wraps around. You've got a tuck right there. This is one of those cards. I can't remember which you call them now. By Tim Holtz. And I keep trying to get it to come to me. It's not coming to me. I might have to buy some more though, because they're great to just grab, and you know it's already pre-made. Love my bucket. I love it. Here's the other side of that flower page. I think there's one in each signature. I just try to choose little flowers that went with the colors. This here is another pocket that I've filled with all kinds of goodies. Plus, I put some of the ephemera on the page behind it. But it's got one of the calendar pieces. There was another type of a calendar that was blue. This actually has a quote on this one. The man who has planted a garden feels that he has done something for the good of the whole world. Charles Dudley Warner, whoever that may be. And then the tag from the kit here. Goes in the very front and decorates it all up and ties it all together. And it tucks right down in there like that. Here's that pretty chair again. I'm crazy about that chair. Now this I saw, I don't know if it was Tracy Fox or that other lady, English lady. It's a policy closure. And it's a real easy make of a policy closure. But I'm fascinated with those little buttons, you know. And all it does, it opens up. And you fold it out and you write on it. You can write on either side. That part's never going to be seen in here. So that's easily, you know, hiding whatever you don't want anybody to see. And then you just, and this is the tea bag strings. Don't pull on it too hard. But it just goes in there like that. You can keep winding. I probably made it a little longer than it needed to be. But this is a postcard with a stamp that came from the kit. And there's a die cut that I painted up and clear embossed. That's the other end of that little skinny two-sided piece. I made a belly band with tickets here. And this is a Stamperia envelope. A lot of this stuff I'm sure you've seen, but at the very end, you didn't see any of that. I didn't get that far. But you can write inside here and then fold it shut. I'm not sure which way it folds. Anyway, I wanted you to be able to write inside of it if you cared to do that, or put little pictures in it, or little ephemera, little tickets, any little memorable things like that. Now this here is a little paper clip, and you can pull it off. Has a pretty little heart in it. I got those at the Dollar Tree, and I've been looking ever since, and I've never seen one there yet after that. This is about climbing roses. This here is one of those belly bands that slide, and I've got a video a while back on that, and I may have actually put that at the end of one of my recent videos. This is a pretty little journal card. Now the way I fixed it, and you could tuck stuff in here if you want. You can move this to another page. That was what the whole deal was. It's removable. It's interactive. You can put it where you want. Oh, wait a minute. I have to go the other way so the little heart shows. There we go. And then this goes on this side, tucks under, and then it tucks under here. There we go. Just so it's pretty. And this here has little pockets. This was an envelope, by the way. I didn't mention that. It was one of the window envelopes, and I fixed the window. I left it open. I cut it open at the bottom down here, and I left it open so it was easy to get in there and do stuff. And then the little pieces that I cut off of the envelope, I made little pockets with. So I had these little tags from another kit somewhere. So I'll put them in there. But yeah, that's all it was. I did a little cluster design over here. And then when I figured out what page I wanted to put it on, I sized it to just the way I needed it to be and glued it. Okay. Then this here is a cluster. It's a ticket, and I scuffed it up so it wasn't so bright blue, and one of the little birdies. And this says weather lore. A wet spring is a sure sign of dry weather for harvest. Maybe. Dad always used to watch the look at the Farmer's Almanac as the end of the first signature, the beginning of the second. This is an Artie Mays freebie page that I got. I love the little birdies. I love them. They're so cute. And then this was part of another one of hers that had something to do with roses and growing and such. This is, I don't know if I called this a certain thing. This is a woven pocket. Maybe that's all I called it, because this piece goes under here, this one under here, this one under here, and this one under here. And it created a pocket because I put it on this little frame, you see. And then these were just pieces. Those are stuck down. That was from that Sweet Blossom kit again. And I forget what this is from. Maybe My Porch Prints. I'm not sure. This was another Artie Mays. So, not sure how I had those arranged. Maybe like that. I like to stagger stuff so you've got different heights. Another little picture from my flower book. This is Mulberry Paper, I think they call it. I don't think you can write on it. You can try. It's mostly like a little see-through thing. You can kind of see. It's for pretty. It's not very functional. It's just pretty. But it had the yellow that went with the rest of the kit stuff. And here is another pocket that has a little truck envelope in it. I did seal that to a certain point. I glued it shut so you could put something in it. And this is another Artie Mays card tag. And all of this is just glued on behind there. And get in there. This is one of my crazy dyed papers. Look at it on that side. I couldn't figure out where to put this butterfly because he was so bright yellow. He fit perfectly. And he has his buddy over here. This is one of those faux postage stamps. It's one of my earlier videos that I did. And this was, Carrie the Crafter showed me this. And it's called an Antiquarian page. And I've got to make me some more. I love them. It's where you take a piece of tea-dye paper. And you're going to do, you're going to cover with some ripped paper 2 or 3 places on the page. And then you're going to use a stamp or something over it. And then you take those papers, those ripped papers off, and it leaves a blank spot. That's where you're going to stamp. And then you can come back in and do different word stamps or splotches or grungy places, you know, things like that. And it's really interesting. I loved it. The only thing is it kind of bleeds through. Depends on what your paper is. So I did like a little stamping over that. Here's a cutoff. This was from, I think, one of my pages I did with the tunnel tags. But it's perfect. I loved it. It was just perfect for this journal. And here's another quote from one of these kind of garden tags. I watch my garden beds after they are sown and think how one of God's exquisite miracles is going on beneath the dark earth out of sight. I never forget my planted seeds. Celia Thaxter. I tongue twist over some of these names. I think that needs to go on the front. Yeah. I want to see the bee. All right. This was some kind of an invitation kit I had at one point. And I like it because it's nice and sturdy cardstock. So this again is one of the ephemera cards from the kit. And I made a little page turner there. And another one of those weekly address things. And that's all she wrote. And I love this polka dot page as well. She had a lot of beautiful pages in her kit. And this weird color that I dyed went really good with the wood grain. So it got put there. Another one of my stamps and a few little gigas and washi tape and a couple circles. This here was a card somebody gave me. Really bright colors on it, but I thought, hey, I'll just put it in here. It's really pretty. This is one of the actual cards that I made, one of those tall tags. How tall is it? It's about 8.5, 8.25. It's tall, but I just did a big masterboard, and this was the back, and then this was the front, and then I enhanced it with some extra pieces here and there, all that kind of good stuff. Hey. And here is a piece of vellum that was from an invitation kit. And it's wrapped around to another page, but I glued it a little bit here and there and put a word on it. And then this was from Stamperia. And this is actually from a freebie from Scrapbooking with Me. It was about perfumes. I figured it went with flowers. This here is a little tuck for this journal card. I have Egg Saver on here. This is one of my favorite little pieces of advertisement. A little piece of, I guess that's burlap. It was like a piece I had left over, so I stuck it down there. This middle here, I was showing, this is one of the last things I showed, I think, on the sneaky peeks. Everybody seemed to love those sneaky peeks. I do not understand. I guess they liked mystifying things. But there's a little truck here on the back. And my husband, he's home. And his cat dog is hollering at him. Anyhow, so this piece was a piece of cardstock. And I put it here in the middle. And I didn't glue it shut yet. And then I got in here and I tied that signature. And I was showing in the sneaky peek, you can actually get down in there and see that knot. So this is a way of hiding knots when you don't want somebody to see them. I don't like a tied middle. I don't do very many charms. So this was one of the ways that I could hide this really well. And then all I did was I glued here and I glued there and it shut it after I had tied it in. So that worked for me. Now here's the other side of that invitation piece. Now all it does, it folds like that, and it was folding around a big piece of cardstock. But I just did it like this. This is another one of the perfume pages. And it just wraps around there like that. Now you could put something in behind here and actually see through it if you'd like, and it would kind of hold it in there. This was a tea bag. One of my buddies, Andrea Burks, she made that for me. I put a little piece of washi there, but I glued it down. It has some flowers on it. And some journaling. Here's another little journal card I made into a pocket. And these were a couple of pieces from Stamperia. Pretty little pieces. I don't know if that's supposed to be a bookmark or what that was. So we're going to put it in here. You can use it however. I like this because of the advertisements. This here is a strip side tuck. And I call him Farmer Brown. But he tucks in there really nicely. And I have a bird here. And shine. And just strips of pieces I had left over. This here's the other side of that other invitation cardstock piece. And I don't know what you'd call that. Graph paper. But it was out one of my paper pads. And that goes right in here like this. And it says enjoy today. And it's one of those pretty flowers. And on this side, it's a tuck as well. But I did it from the strips. I just did strips at different heights, and then I did some washing and some scrap and a birdie, and put a Stamperia tag in here. I thought it was just something different. It was something I was trying out. I'm going to probably do that in a couple more journals in the future. This was just a couple of pieces, shiny, glittery pieces from another paper pad I've got. But I thought they went into this pocket and dressed it up because there's not much to this pocket. It needed a little help. And then this is the other side of the Antiquarian page. And you can get in here and actually color it with colored pencils or something to zhuzh it up. But that's what I did. I gave it a little bit of color. And we have the other side of the mulberry paper. And then the other flower page. And here is a page that it's just from another scrapbook piece, and I put a couple pieces of Stamperia in there. And they're pieces you can write on or put elsewhere, glue it down elsewhere. You can do anything you want to with this. Here's the back side of the Artie Mays page with the birds. And here is another of those same pockets. That is a woven pocket, but it has a little tag here. This one tucks under there, that tucks there, that tucks there. And then that little piece hides the seam. And I've got another one of those flowers decorating the side. And then that goes down in there like that. And this is from the tunnel tags, but it's glued down on the back. It has a little butterfly on it and some flowers. It went with the flowers over here. So I thought it went really well. And the Pride of the Kitchen soap is one of my favorites. But it's another little tag to write on. You can put more in here if you want. But there it is. That's all. This is what the back looked like. I think I showed that before. Oh, well. Okay. What you need to do. I've left a post on my Rhoda's Junk page. You can go over there and you can leave a message. You can say hi, you can say anything. It doesn't matter. As long as I get something that gives me your name, I'll put that into the drawing. Now on this video, I'm posting that today, you will have until Tuesday at noon to leave a remark here. If you do that, you'll also get put into there again. So you'll have 2 chances. that's how I'm playing it anyway. So just remember, go over to Rhoda's Junk and check out the piece, the post that I put down, and then leave me a post here. Give me a like if you really enjoyed seeing this and enjoyed the sneaky peeks, anything like that. I would really appreciate it. But thank you everybody for getting me to 1,000. And good luck to the winner. I really, I want it to go to a good home, and I'm sure it will. All right, everybody have a great, great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.